Hello and welcome to VGFacts Top Lists, a show where we list some of our favourite trivia surrounding different subjects. Today we'll be taking a look at a number of franchise licence pitches that didn't go as planned. Many games go through a long process of development, and many initial ideas are often changed or scrapped entirely. Changing or removing content is usually done to better mesh a game's world and mechanics together, to meet the demands of the game's publisher, or simply due to the developers not having enough time to complete their original ideas. There are a number of titles which were originally conceptualised as tie-in games for existing popular franchises, and though some of these pitches may have seemed ideal to begin with, copyright holders would often back out of a deal. As a result, a lot of these games were reworked into fairly popular titles. Some will be sure to surprise, so without further ado, let's take a look at the top 5 license pitches that fell through. A vehicle-based combat game based on Mad Max would seem like an interesting concept, and developer Stainless Games wanted to make one. The only problem was that no one knew who owned the rights to the series, so they were unable to pursue it any further. Eventually, they decided to make a tie-in based on the possible sequel that was rumoured for the film, Death Race 2000. Though with no further news surfacing about the movie, the idea was dropped. However, the game would later become the popular and controversial Carmageddon. Even though a modern Ghostbusters video game wouldn't be released until 2009, developer Zootfly had previously wanted to create one of their own. Before even gaining permission, Zootfly had gone ahead and started developing the title. They began releasing work-in-progress videos, but when they were unable to gain the license to the series, they were soon ordered by Sony to stop and pull down all footage of the game. However, this did not stop them from using what they had worked on, and they proceeded to instead make the game into an original game called Time O, with all references to Ghostbusters removed. However, Time O seems to have fallen off the radar recently, with no new media surfacing for a number of years. The game has been listed as in development for many years now, and it seems as though the title may never be released. What would become the popular Capcom arcade fighting game Darkstalkers was originally pitched as a fighting game featuring monsters from classic Universal Studios horror films. The game's producer, Alex Jimenez, who was a big fan of these classic movies, wanted to create a game surrounding them. However, Capcom was unable to acquire the rights from Universal. Though not able to create a game based on this initial idea, some of the in-game characters are based on the monsters and actors from those films, such as Frankenstein's monster, Wolfman, the Mummy, and Dracula. Argonaut Software wanted to make a 3D platformer game based on Nintendo's character Yoshi, and which was unique compared to any other platformer game available at the time. Nintendo had been then known to rarely allow outside developers to handle their franchises at the time, especially after previously licensing them to Philips and other companies. When the game was pitched to Nintendo, they had declined the idea. What resulted from this, however, was Croc, Legend of the Gobbos, a title that many would consider to be a classic. Smooth-scrolling PC games were very difficult to create during the time of early PC gaming. When you would progress to the next screen, the game would slowly pan or simply instantaneously change to the next area. Whilst working at Softdisk, John Carmack and Tom Hall had developed a demo of the first level of Super Mario Bros. 3 on the PC, featuring John Romero's character Dangerous Dave in Mario's place. The demo was titled Dangerous Dave in Copyright Infringement, and was aimed to revolutionise PC gaming by featuring smooth-scrolling graphics. The team had then created and pitched a full PC version of Super Mario Bros. 3 to Nintendo as a potential port, and though Nintendo was impressed by the game, they had instead wished to focus on their own platforms. Though the game was never released, it did go on to pave the way for the birth of id Software and the Commander Keen series. That's all we have time for today, but why not subscribe to our channel or follow us on Facebook and Twitter? Have an idea for a list? Leave it in the comments below, and if you liked this video, why not check out some of our other videos?